Are you ready? Because what you're about to hear isn't just drama, it's the plot of a Hollywood thriller, and I, Ethan, was the lead actor, the victim, and eventually, the director. This is the story of Olivia, the woman I loved more than my own life, and how I discovered that her love was just a perfectly honed tool for her insidious plans. This is a long, very long story, so grab some popcorn. We were together for 6 years. 6 years, since high school. She was mine, I was hers. I was, damn it, planning to propose on our anniversary. I bought the ring, the exact solitaire diamond she'd been pinning on Pinterest for months, the one that cost me 3 paychecks. I hid it in the safe, practiced the speech in the mirror. I was so blind I couldn't see our world collapsing. It happened a month ago. My best friend Daniel threw a promotion party. Olivia and I went, of course. Around 2 in the morning, I went upstairs to find my phone. I left it on the nightstand in the guest bedroom. I opened the door and, stop. It wasn't my phone, it was them. Olivia and Daniel, on my bed. No, not just kissing, it was the end. I didn't scream, I didn't break down the door, I just stood there, watching. My world narrowed down to that one room, that one frame of a horror movie. When they finally noticed me, Olivia scrambled, her face contorted with horror. Daniel just froze. Ethan, it's not what you think, she whispered. A lie. No, Olivia, exactly what I think. And this is the end. I walked out, just left, grabbed my car keys and drove all night until I saw the sunrise over the lake. At that moment, I knew 2 things. First, that my heart was broken, and second, that I wasn't going to just suffer in silence. Part 2. The vengeance craving and the secret scheme. The next 2 weeks were a fog. I slept on my sister Sarah's couch. I didn't answer calls. Both of them tried to reach me. Olivia was sobbing in voice messages, saying it was a mistake, that it was only once. Daniel sent a long text about being drunk and depressed. The usual traitor garbage. But here's where it gets interesting. One evening, I was sitting there, mindlessly scrolling through her old laptop that she'd forgotten, and I found it. A file called Project K. At first, I thought it was a work project, but when I opened it, it was a detailed, goddamn revenge plot. A plan she had developed almost 2 years ago. It was aimed at her ex-boyfriend Caleb. He had cheated on her, and she decided not just to dump him, but to destroy his social life and career. The steps were all there. Step 1. Infiltrate his best friend, Jeremy's trust. Step 2. Make Caleb publicly appear unstable. Step 3. Look compromising photos. It was insane, manipulative, genius. And then it hit me. If she was capable of such a scheme against an ex who wronged her, how could I be sure that our 6 years hadn't been part of an even bigger, more subtle plan? I started analyzing her behavior, her friendships, her career. I realized she was never just a victim, she was a puppet master, and that gave me an idea. The perfect, cold, calculated plan. I decided to use her own revenge playbook against her. Part 3. The masterstroke. My revenge had to be perfect. No yelling, no scenes, no direct accusations, only facts, only her own actions. Phase 1. Isolation. Olivia worked at a prestigious marketing firm where reputation was everything. I knew her colleagues because I often attended their corporate events. I started by accidentally bumping into her boss, Miss Grace. I didn't mention the cheating. I just looked broken. I said I was forced to leave town because Olivia did something I can't forgive, and it has nothing to do with our relationship. It's a matter of integrity. It planted the seed of doubt. Phase 2. The information leak. I wasn't going to publish Project K outright. That would look like my revenge. I did something better. I created an anonymous account on an anonymous forum her colleagues used for gossip. I posted only one message, framed as an inquiry. Has anyone else noticed how Olivia, her last name, uses people to climb the corporate ladder? There's a story about her framing her ex, Caleb M., to get his client. She calls it Project K. Can anyone confirm? Phase 3. The reaction. The reaction was instant. People who worked with Caleb saw it. They remembered how he suddenly went crazy and lost a big contract. It all added up. I didn't accuse. I only asked. And people love gossip, especially when it confirms their own suspicions. Within 48 hours, chaos erupted at the company. Her reputation was ruined. People started questioning her successes. It wasn't a shout about cheating. It was a whisper about her moral dishonesty and manipulation that was much worse for her career. Part 4. Climax and reaction. Olivia came to Sarah's apartment where I was staying. She wasn't crying, she was furious. "It was you. You did this," she screamed, her eyes filled with hate. I calmly sipped my coffee. "I did what, Olivia?" Asked on a forum if rumors about your old project were true. "If you're so honest, why are you worried? You knew this would destroy my career. You're despicable. You're no better than me." I put down the cup. "Olivia, you cheated on me with my best friend, on our shared bed, and then I found your detailed plan to destroy the life of a man who merely cheated on you. Do you think that was a mistake?" "You know what's the worst part?" I continued, and this was the final blow. "You were so confident in your impunity that you didn't even delete your files. I just used your own weapon. You destroy people when you no longer need them. And now, you've met someone who, unfortunately, knows your signature move. And that person wasn't me. It was yourself." She left, completely broken. She lost the promotion. Her future at that workplace was destroyed. Daniel, by the way, also lost all our mutual friends, because everyone found out he's not only a cheater, but also spineless. And now I'm here. I don't feel euphoria, I feel empty. But I also feel justice. I wasn't seeking revenge for the cheating. I was seeking revenge for her character. For the years spent with the manipulator. And, addressing the audience. So, Reddit, Aita, did I go too far by using her own methods to expose her true face? Or did I just help others avoid the fate of becoming another victim of her project? I can't stop there. For the full picture, for you to understand the full depth of my pain and, more importantly, her deceit, I have to tell you more. I have to recreate the internal battles that were fought in my head. After she left, I sat on the couch I'd been sleeping on for nearly a month, and for the first time in a long time, I felt a rush of adrenaline, not just brokenness. It wasn't joy, but a strange, cold, satisfying silence. Part 5. Detailing the betrayal and Daniel's disappearance. Ethan's internal monologue. I repeatedly reread Project K. I saved that file. It was in the cloud, protected like the testament of her black soul. Every point was proof that Olivia wasn't just reacting to pain she was planning, she was creating pain. For example, Step 2. Make Caleb publicly appear unstable. How did she do it? There was a subsection in the file. She constantly sent him anonymous letters, quoting their private conversations that no one else could have known. She suggested to his management that he drank too much at corporate events and couldn't handle stress. Of course, after he dumped her, he did drink. She created the problem and then used it as evidence. Brilliant and terrifying. It wasn't just about Caleb. The file also contained short notes about people she neutralized at work to get promoted. Short, brutal summaries. Jessica, too emotional. Leaked information about her affair with a married colleague. Neutralized. Mark, slow worker but popular. Swapped his files. Fired. When I saw this, my revenge against her stopped being personal revenge. It became cleansing. I wasn't just a scorned boyfriend. I was the one who exposed a serial manipulator. And what about Daniel? My best friend. His reaction to the leak about Project K was pure, unadulterated panic. He called me after Olivia came to see me. "Ethan, what did you do? Olivia says you destroyed her career over some old file. What kind of nonsense is this?" "Daniel," my voice was flat, like ice. "It's not nonsense, it's her plan. She uses people. And you know what? She used you too. You were step 1 of her new project, a backup. An emotional stepping stone after she decided to break up with me. Only this time, I exposed her before she could press the destroy button." He started to deny it, yelling that I was crazy, that I couldn't handle it. "You think I'm crazy?" I smiled into the phone, and it was the coldest smile I'd ever given. "I have all the proof. And by the way, Daniel, people at the company are already talking about how you betrayed your brother and how that shows your lack of loyalty. Your boss won't like that." Daniel worked in the same field, a tight-knit world. When I hung up, I knew he was gone too. Not by my direct action, but by the reputational damage caused by his association with Olivia. I fired one bullet that killed 2 birds. Part 6. The reaction of the circle and the justification. My sister Sarah was the only one I showed Project K to. She's a lawyer, and her initial reaction was, "Ethan, this is criminal behavior. You should go to the police." But I didn't want the police. I wanted justice, not a lawsuit that drags on for years. I wanted her to feel what Caleb, Jessica, Mark, and eventually, I felt. Sarah, having seen the entire plan, supported me. "You were wrong to seek revenge. But you were right to expose a manipulator. Ethan, she would have used you and then discarded you like trash." I felt a wave of guilt. It wasn't clean, it was despicable, but it worked. I couldn't just let her go to continue her manipulative game. My revenge was, in essence, an act of self-defense for the whole world. Our mutual friends started calling. They were shocked. "Did you see this?" asked my friend Mike. "These rumors about Olivia. Did she really do that to Caleb?" I didn't say, yes. I said, "I can't believe I spent 6 years with a person who can plan something like that." I didn't accuse. I just doubted, and that doubt was more powerful than any accusation. I allowed them to put the picture together themselves. They knew Olivia was ambitious. They knew Caleb suddenly disappeared from sight. When my broken figure and her scandalous reputation converged, the conclusion was obvious. Part 7. The emotional finale. When I look back at that ring still sitting in the safe, I can't bring myself to sell it. I feel a bitter laugh. I was ready to give her my future, and she was ready to use me as a stepping stone. The greatest irony is that Olivia, in trying to punish Caleb, created the manual by which she was punished herself. She was so self-assured that she thought herself untouchable. I don't think I'll ever return to a relationship. This experience left me with a scar that will never heal, but I have no regrets. I maintain my dignity and, more importantly, I exposed a danger. Now I live knowing that I destroyed the life of a manipulator who destroyed my life. It's fair. But did it make me and Ethan a bad person? I used her own scheme. I pretended to be innocent and let the truth do its work. Am I a vile avenger, or just a man who survived betrayal and decided that manipulation must have consequences?